'Twas the night before Flossmas, when all through the house just one creature was stirring, a stitcher, trying not to wake their spouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care. It had taken years to FFO them, but finally they were there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while the stitcher was happy they could count stitches in peace in their head. There's panic stitching to be done, I'm sure of that. We've got presents to finish, there is no time to nap. What should I tackle first? I started to natter. Well, we're not seeing them until the 28th, so that one doesn't matter. That'll take no time, I thought. I'll have it done in a flash. I should know better by now. My timing's a car crash. However, panic stitching can work wonders. We'll give it a go. So let's finish with this and get on with the show. Hi, my name's Georgie. I'm also known as Crafty Rogue Gamer, and welcome to my channel. This is a channel primarily about cross stitch, although we do have a few other things in here in the Flosstube videos. If you are new and you've just subscribed, I know we've picked up a few people, hi, welcome. If you've been here before, for either a short or a long time, welcome back. It's also lovely to have you here too. Today, I'm just trying to think what I've got. I'm trying to do this super quick, but we know how this turns out. It does not turn out super quick and the videos are just epic. Okay, so we've got one start and a finish today. We have 3 new starts, which is less than what I planned for November, but it's okay because plans change, and we'll go into why when I show you one of the pieces. And we can talk about plans. I've got a couple of Flosstubers to mention, and I'm probably going to not do purchases because the sales got me good, and that had me admitting to how many new patterns I bought. And then I've been watching a few things. I've been watching a lot of things. Some of them are total garbage, but there's a couple of cool things, well, cool to me things that I've watched which I thought would be worth recommendation if anyone fancies that kind of thing. Most importantly, we also had a little competition in Flosstube number 10, just a little giveaway. So we are going to be announcing the winners of the giveaway, and we're going to do that a bit later because I've got to figure out how to actually do that and put it on the screen, and I'm going to work that out. So we'll do this bit first, and then I'll break off, and well, I'll probably break off more than just that, and we'll go into that a bit later. But I'll put timestamps for everything in the little section of the details below the video if you just want to skip to that straight away and see if you won or not. Now, if you see anything, if you're new here and you see anything appearing on the screen, my lovely other half, JC, he edits these videos for me. He has his own unique brand of humour, which I won't apologise for, because he is funny and he does make me laugh, to be fair, and there's nothing like poking fun at your spouse, is there? So let's crack on and let's have a look at some stuff. We are going to do the start and the finish first because it is the first thing I did after I filmed the last Flosstube, so it makes sense. Let's go in chronological order. So for my start and finish-ish, we have Mill Hill Owl. So this is the Moonlit Owl. Moonlit Owl. Will sound my words properly. Now you're going to show on the screen little Moonlit Owl. Come on, for me. I'll cover myself up. There we go. He's super cute. I got this because I love the colours. It's one of the newer Mill Hill kits, as far as I'm aware, and it's gorgeous. Now, I have found a love for beading. Now, when I say beading, come on, little owl. I mean beading on stuff this size. I don't know whether I love like beading bigger things. But just, I'm very into, not a pink person, but I'm very into sort of the neon-y, pinkies, green, and I don't know what's going on at the minute, so I'm quite into these colours. Now, this isn't finished as it should be. It should be finished as a magnet, but we don't have anywhere to put magnets. Like the kitchen, it'd get destroyed, and I don't have trees. Like, I don't have a Christmas tree. Bea has one in her room, but it's like paranormal activity with baubles because of the cats. I'll never forget the first year I put a tree up when I had Leo, and then that was it. I never did it again. Just woke up at like 1 o'clock in the morning and could see baubles bouncing at the bottom of the stairs. And then the cat, I put the light on, the cat was in the tree, just like that. I'm like, right, no, not again. Not happening. So that's why we don't have Christmas decorations in the house. But I don't have a Halloween tree either, even though I know that's completely different to a Christmas tree. I don't have anything like that, so I don't have anywhere to hang it either. So I'm a bit stuck. Help. Magnet is a no-go. I don't like the idea of magnets with the cats and the dogs and everything. I'm not too keen on that. Hanging, I mean, I've got plenty of black beads, so I can make it into a little hangy thing. But I'm not keen on like a little tree or decorative thing to hang them on, maybe. I don't know what to do. Suggestions, please. But how awesome is little Moonlit Owl? I think it took me maybe three days, like 3 nights to stitch and sort and finish, and maybe 4 days. Not much time at all. So what we're going to do is we're possibly going to do some more male hull kits after we've done a bit of Christmas panic stitching, because we can do these in the new year, and we can hope, well, before the new year and in the sweet spot between like Christmas and New Year when no one knows what day it is, and we might be able to get our 15 finishes for the year. My target that I'm only holding myself accountable to, and it's an arbitrary number that means absolutely nothing, apart from it's one more than what I finished last year, which is a stupid thing to do to myself, because then if I keep incrementing that every year, then where am I going to end up in 20 years if I'm still stitching by that point? But we have plans for that. I have plans. I've thought of next year plans. But we are not talking about next year now, so that is my one start and finish. So the next thing will be this. Okay, so I had, like I say, 3 starts. The November was supposed to be New Start November, just purely by accident. I had a lot of things like, ooh, I'd like to start that, ooh, I'd like to start that, and I made a few promises about starting things, and it just so happened to be in November. Now, that didn't end up happening, but not because of this. Possibly not because of the next one. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, so my first new start in November, and we're talking a little teeny weeny new start, because I'm not even sure which way this goes at the minute. This way, I think. Okay. So, my teeny tiny new start is this. Can you tell what it is? It is Poltergeist Pirates by Glendon Place. So we have got a bit of a sail, and that's as far as we've got. Now, I started this as a stitch along with Emma X Stitching and Belushi Stitchers. We've had the pleasure of meeting in person, like person, in the Crew Ladybird retreats a couple of times now, and other people were stitching this and had started it, and we were sort of like ooh, and then they said, oh, well, we decided to start that. I'm like, I've got that. So yeah, we started it, and it's a stitch along. So yeah, haven't stitched along very much on it. They're much further than I have got. I think Emma started with the moon, because there's a moon in the piece at the top. I'll get, if it hasn't already figured it out, I'll get JC to put an image of what it should look like when it's finished on the screen. Joe, where's Joe started? I don't think Joe started in the centre. This is pretty much a centre start, as you can see by the fabric. And speaking of fabric, this is the called for fabric. This is Bang, and it is 28 count. I think it's linen. Looks like a linen. Anyway, called for fabric. I'm using the called for DMC colours and any speciality stuff, and I've actually got the embellishment pack as well, because my lovely other half JC bought everything for me as part of my birthday present last year, I think. I don't know, but I was very kindly spoiled, and that's where we are. I only stitched on this for 2 days. 3 days? 3 days. beginning of November, because it then got put down and we stitched on other things. So let me just see if I can grab some more stats about Poltergeist Pirates. It is going to be 241 stitches high by 295 stitches wide, and as you can see, that's a piece of the fabric, and we'll have a bit of movement at either, well, a bit of margin at either side, but it's going to be fairly big. Not big. It's not full coverage. But yeah, 3 days. Yeah, 3 days I stitched on that, according to my thing that's over there. Okay, so the next thing that I started was this. This is the reason why it was not New Start November at the scale I thought it was going to be. So the next thing I started was the Lola Crow Creepy Christmas Village ornament cell. Now, I love Lola Crow designs. I will fangirl over Lola Crow stuff. It's just so unique. You know how someone has a style. You can look at something and say that's Lola Crow, or that's Mama Witch X Stitch, or that's Witchy Stitcher, and I love the style of Lola Crow's designs. So basically anything that she releases, she could have my money. Now, there have been 3 ornament releases so far. There was the first release, and then one straight after, then we had a gap week, and then it's just been release 3, with release 4 being, ornament 4 being on Friday. And I'm up to date with a stitch along. Check me out. Right, let's get you a bit closer. There we go. So we have here the Creepy Carolers, so that was number 1, ornament 1. We have Spooky Christmas House, which is ornament 2. And then I have just finished last night the Creepy Christmas Tree. Now, these are supposed to be separate ornaments, but I've chosen to stitch them all on one piece of fabric, and what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to put like sort of the title, like Lola Crow Creepy Christmas Cell there. However, I have an issue. Okay, my issue is, right, technically these should all be separate finishes, like they're all separate ornaments, they should be on separate fabric, all cut up and fine, and that would be the 6 altogether, so 6 individual finishes. Now, my arbitrary, it doesn't matter, no one cares apart from me, target of 15 finishes, technically this counts as 6, okay? However, it's on one piece of fabric. Now, I've had this discussion with a few people, but you know the voice in your head, the voice in my head is going, like adults used to say when you were a kid, and it was like, well, you're only cheating yourself if you... That's what my head is doing, because it's on one piece of fabric, and it's going, well, that's just one finish, isn't it? Because it's just one piece of fabric. But if my brain could count it as 6 finishes, then we'd have done it. We'd be like, well, we wouldn't have done it. How many finishes I've got? Right, we wouldn't have done 15 finishes, but we'd be a lot closer than what we are with 6 than with 1. So, yeah. What do you think? Does this count as 6? Because they're technically all individual designs? Or does it just count as 1? And am I going to have to do a lot of Mill Hill kits in the golden time of not knowing what day it is between Christmas and New Year's? I don't know. What I do know is I absolutely love these. They're about 1,000 stitches each, give or take. There's a bit of back stitching involved, and they are just lovely little things. They're about 50 by 50 stitches or thereabouts. And this is on 18 count elephant run. This is called For Fabric for the Sal by Fox and Rabbit Designs. So I got this shipped over, and yeah, it looks absolutely stunning. I'm so happy with this. I can't obviously show you what it looks like because I don't know, it's a mystery sale. I'll be getting the next part on Friday, like I said. I think there's possibly a gap week and then the last 2 designs, so this should be finished as long as I keep up with it. That's one target for this year I have met, probably the only target for this year I have met. But if I keep up with it, then it should be finished, I believe, before Christmas. So yeah, that's start number 2. I'm stitching that with the call for DMC, nothing special. Well, apart from it is special, it is gorgeous, but nothing special in terms of the threads. Now, this is what halted New Start November. I'm very into like history and classics, and one of my degrees was like in humanities with classical civilizations and art history, so I'm very into like that kind of thing. Stop waving my hands about. So when this was announced, again, it was a no-brainer, like take my money, no-brainer. I also love stuff, patterns by another designer, Quaternion Creations, and again, they are unique. You can tell that they are designed by Quaternion Creations, and I just love the way they look, especially the sals that are mainly one colour, just with like a 1 or 2 colour accent. They are absolutely gorgeous, and I have a few of those that I'm yet to stitch. But this one, I saw the first release in the frame, and I was like, yeah, we're having this. So this is the Odyssey Sal, and I've got to tell you, I am super happy about how that fabric looks, because I've been trying to get it to look like it does on Instagram for weeks, and that is pretty true to life. So here we go. Now this here is a bit that I need to chop off, but I didn't have the guts to do it until I finished the whole frame, and now I'm just being lazy, and I really just need to cut off that bit of fabric that's holding me back now. So just give you a look at that again. Now there is a teaser, no, wrong. You can see, I believe, the full pattern for this and what the design's going to look like, but I've managed to avoid it so far, as it's only on the website, and I don't want to see it. I want it to be a mystery to me. So I'm not going to show you what this looks like, because I don't know, and I don't want to know. So what we have here in the Odyssey Sal is the story of Odysseus and his journey home with his troops from the Trojan War. And it starts at the top here. He meets the Cyclops on his island, and then he meets Circe, and then this is a trip to the underworld, and then here we are meeting the Sirens. So we've got 4 releases here in the frame, and I was behind on this. I think definitely 3 parts released when I'd started it, and I loved how it looked so much that I just wanted to do it, and I wanted to keep up with it, and well, I wanted to catch up with it and then keep up with it, and that's where I'm at now. Release 5 just came out yesterday, so I'm not behind. I've got like 2 weeks to stitch that, but I want to try and give it a bash tonight if I can, because it's only about 500 stitches. But the frame on this, that took some counting, and catching up took me a significant amount of time that I do not regret at all not starting on any other New Starts. It is stitched on 35 count Edinburgh linen, and the dyer is Luella's Fabrics on Facebook, and the fabrics are gorgeous. This is beautiful. The colours are beautiful. I couldn't have picked anything better to stitch this on, in my opinion. There's some very, very, very talented fabric dyers out there, and this is amazing. Now, my sweet spot is 18 count fabric. 18 count 2/1. Hi, Becky. Becky got stitches. We like that. But this is 35 count, and I have actually really loved stitching on this 2/2. And then it just sort of like dawned on me, like while I was stitching it and doing it, well, that's practically 18 count, isn't it? You know, 2/2, 2/1. So that's possibly why I like it so much. I've stitched on 30 count before and not really gelled with it. But yeah, so I think I quite like 35 count fabric now. I won't be going away from 18 count, but just as a treat for a higher count fabric, if it's called for, we'll definitely go for something like this. I'm just using the called for colours and also picking cat hair off it while we talk. So DMC 310, and then it's 304 for the red accent. But honestly, look how well that looks. Like, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, like I'm blowing the trumpet of the designers, or the designer of the pattern, and also the dyer of the fabric, because that combination there is beautiful, and I've done good. So yeah, the Odyssey sale, the reason why I didn't start everything in November, which is an issue because I sort of plan to start gifts and things as well as like other bits. I have not done this. I have not started these. So we're in for a bit of panic stitching, but it's okay. She says confidently. It is okay. We can do this. So I'm not a particularly Christmassy person myself. I'm not particularly going to go into why, because I don't want to like be grinching upon Christmas for everyone. But I enjoy giving gifts to people, and I enjoy stitching gifts for people. So my plans now for up until the 25th, and possibly a bit after, because I might not see some of those people until after that point, and it gives me a bit of extra time to stitch their stuff that I could do with. My plans are gift stitching, and also keeping up with these stitch alongs, because I love them very much. I also signed up for Climbing Goat Designs Snowflake Stitch Along, just as an effort to try and be less Grinch and get more into Christmas, which I don't think is going to happen, but the first snowflake looked really pretty, and yeah. So that's one thing a day. That can't hurt, can it? We'll see. So, plans. I need to stitch 3 cards. One of these cards is currently getting delivered because I'm doing kits from Bothy Threads. Card number 1. Like literally, legit, card number 1 in plans. I've gone straight into plans here. This isn't as like segmented as usual. Like I say, I'm trying to just blast through it in a comfortable and organised way, because I need to start stitching stuff, people, and I didn't mean to leave it until the end of November to do a video. So card number 1, stocking fillers with the little kitty cats, which just says Merry Xmas, and yeah, the hijinks with Christmas stockings, card number 1. This is going to be posted, and yeah, so this needs doing. Okay. Now, card number 2 that also needs posting is this one. Christmas Friends. See, you look at these and it's deceiving, because my head is going, yeah, you could have that done in a night. You cannot do these in a night. I mean, you probably could, to be fair. No, you could not. We need, right, don't be me next year. Me, right, okay. George, don't be you next year, and if you're watching this back at all, which you never do, so I don't know why I'm saying it, but I need people to help me hold myself accountable and tell me to start stitching gifts in November if I know I need to do it. I could just not stitch anything for anyone. That'd be easier. but then words come out of my mouth and plans go into my head, and then I'm just in trouble because it's the 1st of December tomorrow and I've done nothing. But it's okay, it's fine. So those are the 2 cards. The other card I want to stitch is part of the Scandi range. I haven't decided which one yet because I've got a couple of them. I did one last year for my mum. I'd like to make other ones in the series, so I'll ask JC to pop a picture up. Probably go for the hair possibly, because I used to have rabbits when I was younger. So yeah, I'll ask JC to pop a picture up. Ah. So that's 3 cards that need stitching. I have like a drink of Comfort Pepsi. Right, okay, the biggest mistake I made to not start stitching was feathers. Now, I've stitched body threads kits before. I don't know how many stitches this is. I haven't got the pattern out to count and look, because if I do the maths, I'm just going to depress myself. Now, the recipient of this is not going to get it until the afternoon of Christmas Day. So that's the target. Now, it doesn't even have to be fully finished, because we could pick a frame together, yeah, and see what suits, and then we could frame it. So it doesn't even have to be fully finished. We can legit just get this done, fold it up, wrap it, and they're going to love it, okay? So that's the plan. I'm just like looking at the pattern now and looking at how many squares. Okay, so we're going to put that down. That was the biggest mistake. Also in my head, I've got one more gift I want to stitch that I'm not going to say anything about. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Might be for JC. But this is the first time I've mentioned it, JC. So if you don't get it, it can be a New Year's gift. Okay, but I will try my best. Why have I done this? It's okay. It's not okay. That horse is massive. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. I've got like the devils on both shoulders going. Be fine. It's not gonna be fine. I'm inclined to believe this one. It's not fine. But we're okay. So T minus 25 days, but not because postage dates, and that's where we are. If I get any other time between the cells and the panic stitching, if I happen to finish everything, then you're laughing with me here, then I will do smalls. I will do Mill Hill kits, because we're going to try and meet the target of finishing things. Now, in all fairness, those 3 cards are smalls, so they will count. If you viewers of Flosstube will let me count the ornaments as 6 separate things, then that'd be great, because then between the cards, feathers, the horse, and the ornaments, then we would have, quick maths, yes, we would have 15 finishes for me, and that would make me very happy. If you don't let me count the ornaments, then we're going to be in trouble, and I need to do the Lolacre ornaments, and I need to do more Mill Hill kits, which is fine, but I don't have anywhere to put them, and you need to help me with that as well, please. So those are my plans. Right, what do I need to do now? I need to do Flosstubers now. I'm sorry if this is a bit disjointed. I wanted to film it before the end of November, but I've just come out the back of like a 3-day migraine, and last weekend was a hot mess, so I planned to do this last weekend, mainly because I'd have my hair done, it looked really nice, and my brows done, because, you know, we're fickle like that, but that wasn't meant to be, so I'm still a bit like, ooh, from the migraine, and my head really hurts, like, hurts to touch, not like migraine hurts anymore, but yeah, so I just feel a bit odd in terms of I don't feel as organised as usual. Anyway, I want to talk about Flosstubers, so Flosstubers next. Okay, Flosstubers. So I can't do Flosstubers again and start, you know, doing this more regularly without mentioning my lovely crafty coven. Now, these are Flosstubers and people who I met on via Flosstube comments or Instagram, and they are lovely people. They are amazing people, and we became stitchy friends, and I very much consider them just friends now, even though we've not yet met in some cases in person. However, shout out and hi to, in no particular order, oh god, hang on, no pressure, right, DNA Geekcraft, Stitch You In, Mad Morty, Stitchy Cat Lady and Wolf Down the Rabbit Hole. They all have floss tubes, and if you haven't already, go and give them a watch. I'll put the links down in the description, and if you like what you see, subscribe to them because they post a lot more frequently than I do, and they have some amazing projects, and they are genuinely generally just good people to have on in your background and in your life. That's how I feel anyway. So in terms of other floss tubers who I want to mention, now I have a list, but I've not got through this list because I am very much lapsed on floss tube watching over the last few weeks, because I've been watching other things and getting sucked into, well, yeah, just some terrible stuff. However, not sucked into terrible, like as in we're okay, I'm okay. Just some of the things I've watched on streaming services have been absolute garbage. However, when I finished Flosstube 10 and posted it, I had some lovely comments. So firstly, thank you very much if you commented on Flosstube 10. It really did mean a lot. I read everyone's comments, I tried to reply to everyone's comments, and I had fun chatting, and thank you very much for making me feel welcome back. So yeah, but I knew a few people were Flosstubers, so I wanted to make sure I watched your videos if you are a Flosstuber who commented. Now, I haven't got through all of them, like I said, but I made a start before I stopped. So I want to say hi and shout out to, firstly, Hannah Woolstonholme. Now, Hannah has all the fancy ladies, like all the fancy ladies. If you want to see fancy ladies, you go to Hannah's Flosstube. And Hannah also has a hefty whip pile. So if you want to see all the whips, go to Hannah. Now, Hannah has cats and dogs, so I feel like I've got another Flosstuber that knows how it is trying to film with animals, and maybe the bit of animal chaos that I have in the household as well, especially with a new puppy. So yeah, although Hannah has more animals than me, I think, so possibly wins. However, I'm always up for floss tubes with animals. If you're a floss tuber and I haven't said that I watch you and you have animals, then if you put something in the comments below, I will come and watch you. Not that you get priority, you kind of do if there's animals, but you please, I want to see the pets of floss tube needs to be a thing, okay? Although I shut mine out of the office at the minute to try and get a bit of peace and quiet and film, because it is chaos downstairs because of Eric, the new cat. So Hannah, hi Hannah, I have watched your videos and I very much look forward to, I think you've got 3 videos, and watching the next one that you put out. So yeah, go watch Hannah. Everything's going to be, links to everyone will be in the description. So next, 2 takes. Next I have got I've got Becky, right? Becky got craft. Becky don't just got craft, Becky got all the full coverage, and I like Becky because we've got a fair bit of crossover. Now, Becky is also an 18 count Ada fan, like me. I also love dinosaurs, I also love gaming, and I found myself, especially Skyrim, Becky, but I found myself watching and I was like, I've got that, ooh, I like that. And so yeah, I loved watching and just seeing all the things, and the energy that Becky brings, and also the intros are amazing, and I'm sort of waiting eagerly because it is the 30th of November, so Becky needs to be putting a new video out now, and I want to watch that video because I've watched all the other ones and I need a new one. So hi Becky, I've loved chatting in the comments, and yeah, and twinning a bit with you. So yeah, go watch Becky Got Craft for all the full coverage, all the energy, and just someone to uplift your cross-stitching life and your floss tube life. So one more person before I sort of got derailed with the watching is the monogamous cross stitcher. Now, monogamous cross stitcher is Tan, and I have had the pleasure of meeting Tan in person and seeing Tan's project in person, her big Haid that she finished recently, and we met in person at the crew retreats. I think we've been to a couple together now, possibly not together, but being there in the same room stitching stuff. Now, Tan has amazing projects and stitches super quickly, and although monogamous implies there's maybe just one thing, Tan has a few whips that are all awesome, but then just tends to focus on one thing at a time for a set time, and then another thing at a time. So yeah, you're not just going to see one thing there, you're going to see a few things. Tan gave me a shout out, so hi Tan. Thank you very much for that. It was a lovely shout out. And I also feel a bit twinny with Tan because I love Haids. Yet to finish one, that's in plans, but not these plans, like future plans. But Tan said in one of the videos that all the whips stress her out too. I am with you on that. Too many, just like I feel a bit funny with too many things on the go at once. So I completely get and understand that. And I am with you on that personally. I know it doesn't bother other people, and that's absolutely cool. Just, yeah, don't know why it bothers me. Although I'm better than I used to be. Else I wouldn't have tried New Start November, but I failed at New Start November. Maybe some of that was subconsciously. Who knows? Anyway, so yeah, I'll pop links to everyone in the description, but I know I've got at least 5 other people on this list, and I will get around to watching everyone, but I like to watch all of the videos, so sometimes it takes me a little bit of time. Right, next. I've got left a few things I wanted to mention that I watched that I thought were cool. But we need to do some winners for the competition. Okay, let's do that. I'm just going to take a quick break and work out how to do this because I've not done it in OBS before. But we shall announce the winners from the Flosstube 10 competition, and then we'll do reading, watching, listening to, as Carrie says, DNA Geek Craft, but it's really just like watching, let's face it. So 2 ticks and I will be right. Okay, so let's pick some winners. In Flosstube 10, I did a bit of a celebration for me managing to do a video for the first time in a while, but also mainly actually to thank you for watching me and sticking with me if you've been with me a while, or if it's the first time you've watched a video, then for sticking with me for one video and hopefully enjoying what you saw and wanting to come back. Now, we had 2 patterns. We have the 31st of October, and this is by Twin Peak Primitives, and if you wanted to have a bash at being the winner for this pattern, then you're going to put the word October in your comment. And then we also had, by the Carriage House Samplings, the Twisted Pumpkin. And if you wanted to have a bash in this one, then you were going to put the word pumpkin in the comments. So the rules mentioned previously, obviously as of this point now, comments are closed. We're going to pick someone right now. I've never done this before, so it's be interesting. I've tested it out with a different word, and so hopefully we're all okay and it works. It worked with the different word, so we're okay. Yeah, so I'm going to pick 2 winners. If you happen to be the same person twice, I will draw again for the second time, just to give everyone a chance. So what we're going to do, because I mentioned that one first in both the last Flosstube and this one, we're going to draw for this one first. So this one's going to be October for the keyword. Magic word. Right, let's do this. So if I click here, that's the link to my video, so I can fetch comments. And I'm going to say keyword filter, allow duplicate, and I'm going to say October. So we had 8 comments with the word October in there, so let's pick a winner. Abby Parry, 2039. Abby, you are the winner of, I'm back, 31st of October from Twin Peak Primitives. So congratulations. We'll work it out and get in contact. But congratulations, you are the winner of that. But that means you cannot, if you put pumpkin in your comment, be the winner of this one. So who's going to be the winner of Twisted Pumpkin? Right, okay, so I'm going to just write down Abby. Do you know what? What would have been a good idea is having a pen to hand. I've got a bit of paper. See, I was 50% there. I'm actually recording this, so I don't know why I'm writing this down, because I could just look back through the recording, couldn't I? But I'm a pen and paper gal. So let me reset this and get us to a starting point again. And let me share my screen again. Okay, so we are going to go again. We're going to paste the link, fetch the video, and we are going to say, ooh, that's not how you spell pumpkin. Pumpkin. 10 comments. Okay, let's pick a winner. Who have we got? Rissy Bisji. I never tried store-bought pumpkin spice. Yeah, no, we're having a discussion about pumpkin spice, so I remember this. So congratulations, you are the winner of, hang on, Twisted Pumpkin by Carriage House Samplings. So we can work out how to get in touch, and I will get those sent on. So congratulations to both our winners, and commiserations if you didn't. It won't be the last giveaway that I do, but thank you to anyone who did drop a comment either for the competition or just to say hi, for the celebration, should I say, not competition. And yeah, I will comment on your comments on the last video, and then we'll go from there in terms of getting those to you, hopefully before the Christmas post rush. So you should have those in time for the new year. Right, okay, so stuff, more stuff. I've buried the notepad, hang on. I've also got to find the page in the notepad. I love dinosaurs, because, you know, I'm a grown-up. So I just wanted to mention a couple of things that I've watched because I thought they were particularly cool, okay? And if you don't like them and that kind of stuff, that's absolutely fine. But if you do, and on the off chance that you haven't seen these things, then watch. Okay, watching things. Although I'm a bit out of sync, so normally by now, probably before Flosstubers and the celebration thing, yeah, I probably would have said, if you only just come for the stitching, then thank you for watching, but you've hung around till this point or you've already stopped watching. But yeah, so we're a bit out of sync. I'll do better next time. I'll do better. I probably won't. But stuff I've been watching, I got hooked on some stuff that wasn't Flosstube and sucked into the world of streamed media. So let's have a look. Netflix. Okay, I'm not into usually sort of like, not period drama, because it wasn't really, like historical dramas. Even though I like history, I like dramas, I'm not normally a historical drama kind of person. However, Alias Grace got me. I binged it. I loved it. It was so good. And the ending was satisfying, and I feel that's really important to say, because if I'm getting into something that's got episodes, then if it's got a bad ending, I feel robbed. So I'm not saying whether it was a good or bad ending, it was a satisfying ending, and you're okay. It's okay to watch it. It's good. It's okay. So Alias Grace is about a girl in Canada who was committed to an asylum because she had committed murder. And it's about the unfolding of that story in terms of at the time probably was not called a psychologist because there wasn't a term for it. However, someone who explored the human mind, who was trying to work out why she did it and what exactly happened, with a view to potentially getting her released. So I'm going to leave it there because I'm not going to spoil anything. However, that was a very good watch. That was worth the time I invested in watching it. Netflix, what else have I got on the list? No, that wasn't any good. Supernaturally, but not like particularly gory, I really enjoyed Sister Death. So I think it was dubbed. Was it dubbed? Yeah, I'm sure it was that one. But that was about a girl who became a nun because she had experienced or witnessed sort of a miracle or a miraculous appearance, and it's about her going to a convent school as a teacher to teach children, and her experiences there and a mystery that unfolds. So that's definitely worth a watch. There's a couple of things on here that I know, that aren't on here that I know that I watched. The Maya is on the list. That was a good drama, like twisty-turny, kind of like investigation about the circumstances of a young boy's death, I think it started out as. And there's two series, there's like the Maya and the Maya 1980 something, I think. Anyway, they were both good and worth a watch, and also I feel both satisfying endings, so you are safe. It is safe to watch. I know Carrie's recommended this, but Till Murder Do Us Part, that was very interesting. That was a story, that was real life. That was following the story of a couple who the woman's parents were murdered, and it's about their involvement in that and who is the guilty party and where the guilt sits, and that was quite eye-opening. And then the Ghost Train Fire, that isn't on my list, but by goodness, that was eye-opening as well. So again, like I say, enjoyable in the loosest sense of the term. I enjoy watching them, but I enjoy the stories behind it and learning what's happened and what's gone on. And so in terms of it being all happy enjoyment and that kind of thing, it's not. But the Ghost Train Fire was just like, you were just watching it and it just got worse and worse in terms of the story. Not in terms of the story being bad, as in what had actually happened and the events unfolding and what's been covered up, for want of better words. So that was a true story. That is a true story. It's in parts, and it's about fire that occurred on a ghost train where unfortunately I think it was 8 people lost their lives, and it's the circumstance around that. It occurred in Australia. I think it was in the 70s, and yeah, that was like, oh, that was a watch. So if you're interested in sort of the real life kind of things, then yeah, have a bash at that one. And then there was one more that I wanted to mention, and it was one that Carrie mentioned, and I can't think about. It was about modern day cult. What was it? I'm going to say Twin Peaks. I know it's not Twin Peaks because that's like a thing. Hang on. Netflix. I'm not signed in on this browser. Un momento. I can't find it quickly. Right, so it's Expose the Ghost Train Fire was one of them. Come on, don't do continue watching, do like watching again. I can't find it now. I'll put it in the comments, in the description even. Why aren't you there? Or go watch DNA Geekcraft's last video, because it was a recommendation there, and again that was like eye-opening. I'm just like side-eyeing this. I'm trying to scroll. I'm trying to scroll and find it. Why isn't what I recently watched in here? That's ridiculous. Okay, we're stopping now. I'll stop him. I'll put it in the comments. It was about sort of a... Look at my words now, because I'm like kind of, I want to see, I want to remember the name. Like I'm squirreling over there, and I need to do here. It was about a organisation that one could possibly define as a cult that operates in the modern day, and how it brings people in. It's again documentary, real life. It brings people in, and then how it keeps them there, and it's just escaping me what it was called. I cannot think. But like I say, I'll pop it in the comments, and I've rambled on for too long about it. Stop looking at that. Close the browser. Okay. Yeah, they were like the main things. Amazon, I watched a few cool things on Amazon. I have got a Shudder subscription. I sort of treat myself to it around Halloween, and then I like cancel it after I've binged everything I wanted to watch. Now, the main reason I got it this year was I have like comfort. You have comfort films? I have comfort films and like comfort series. Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit series, one of them. And I'll just, like background fodder, and it's comfortable, and you don't need to concentrate, but you enjoy having it on. So some of my comfort horror films are the Hell House films, Hell House LLC. They are very good. I don't want to spoil them, but it's sort of like about like one of the real life experience houses, but it's and them setting it up, but it's in a certain location where things have happened, and yeah, so it's yeah, honestly I really do enjoy those. A bit of cheesy, not sort of that cheesy to be fair, a bit of horror, but not gory. No, I wouldn't consider it gory horror. So yeah, I got it for that because I really fancied watching that. But then I also found what did I find? A Leap of Faith, which was on Shudder, which was about the making of The Exorcist, but about actually in terms of how it was filmed and what its influences were. So I quite enjoyed watching that. Not on Shudder, but on Amazon, because I get my Shudder through Amazon. Real Fear, The Truth Behind the Movies. That was quite interesting. I did quite enjoy watching those as well. Just a bit of something like the real things like behind the films and curses and influences and stuff like that. So yeah, a few ideas there if you fancy watching anything that I've watched, and if you kind of twin with me on some of those things, tell me some cool things to watch, although not too many because I need to start watching more Flosstube. So yeah, there we go. In terms of a life catch up, life's just like JC's hand is getting better. We're not quite there yet, but we're still quite early in recovery, but it's the good side of recovery so far. We are making progress with the hand bending, which is good. This is good. I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. Like I said, I've come out of like a 3-day migraine, which they never last more than a day, and the meds always work, and they didn't work, and I woke up with it, and I kept waking up with it, and like, yeah, so that's just sort of kicked me a bit. It's work's been horrendous, and then like having to like do other things that I wouldn't normally do because JC will be doing them, like errands and like school runs and things, and then feeling like I've got to make that time up for work, making that time up for work because I'm missing like bits of my day. It's just like stuff's been non-stop, but I have been trying to like cram stitching time into there, and I have been managing, even if it's only like 10, 50 something, anything, I have been trying to do it I can. Eric the cat is now loose in the house, apart from we put him to bed on a night because I need my sleep at the moment and I can't face that. So Eric is out all during the day, and he is lovely, and he's loving, and he's sat outside there, and I know he's waiting for me, but that cat has the devil in him at times. And yeah, so we're just working on calming him down. And again, that's still early days as well, so you know, he was outside, we don't know for how long, but he's doing so well considering that. But by goodness, there is a witching hour, and he just goes wild, which is fine. But yeah, we do pop him to bed on a night, and then we'll get him up first thing in the morning, and so he just potters around the house like he owns the place, which is great. Yeah, so there are other animal updates. I don't know if you want boring with them. We found a groomer that can cut Nova's claws. That was great. Nearly cried at that. That was like, she's so fussy, and she's had such a hard start to her life in terms of health and stuff. She's always been funny about her feet, but we've worked with a fantastic person who has done amazing things and had got comfortable with doing that. She just did it all in one go, and that was just like such a relief. Leo, if you ever seen Leo, he normally has a cone on or a suit on because he does over grooming, and I think we've broken that cycle. It reoccurs, so I'm not like saying it's done, but Leo's a proper cat now, people. He doesn't have a onesie on, nor does he have a cone on, or both some days, because he gets that bad with it. So he's wandering around like a normal cat at the moment, which is a bit weird. So there are good things as well as other things, and yeah, the house is just still in a bit of chaos at the moment. But when isn't it? It's just different chaos depending on what day of the week it is. So yeah, in terms of when you're next going to see me, I've got some stitching to do. But we have plans. Carrie and I, DNA Geekcraft, were talking about goals and plans in 2024. Which I'm still not comfortable saying, but I was typing 2025 into databases last week and the beginning of this week, and so I'm comfortable with 2024. My head's already in 2025 for work, which is even worse. But yeah, we have plans, but I'm going to leave those for another video because this short video is already probably an hour long. So yeah, I will love you and leave you. Thank you so much for watching if you've stuck with me until this point. And if you're not a subscriber, if you like what you see and you want to come back for more, then please feel free to hit the subscribe button. But yeah, take care of yourselves. I hope you've had a fun time watching, and I don't know what I'm going to get done, but it's going to be fun to find out. So take care, see you soon, and it'll probably be a couple of weeks, and we'll see how much I've done. Right, bye bye.